So COVID happened, and then what do you see in terms of, I'll go into your background in a second, but just I'm always keen to actually hear the impact of COVID, because for me personally, it had a massive impact. You know, I was working on the front line, I was burnt out, gyms were closed, I literally had no breaks, had to work back to back, and it devastating impact on many doctors, and that led to my own burnout, and that led to me starting my own coaching business to help doctors and professionals recover from anxiety and burnout. So for me, mentally, psychologically, it had a huge impact. What impact did it have on yourself and your workload throughout the pandemic?
Yes. Well, I've listened to some of your story, Dr. Asif, and I find it very interesting. And also lots of it resonates with my own journey in terms of serving other people. And I think you have to have either an experience that really is out there, right, that makes you think about yourself, your life, your purpose. And then you have this transition into something else. And I always say it's the version 2.0 of you, right? It's like you recreated yourself. Or what happens is you succumb to your environment, you succumb to whatever you're facing, and you kind of not necessarily implode, but you go inward. And for some people that becomes difficult to climb back out of, if I can use that example. So for me, on a personal level, I think it gave me the opportunity to build a very strong foundation for myself. And what I mean is, whilst I was doing the business on the side, you know, this old adage that talks about, you know, you work hard, right? And you go get, right? And you'll achieve something, right? And we were brought up like this, you know, do your academic, do your education, work really hard. You'll get something in the end, and eventually you will become someone, right? You'll become the chief exec, you'll become a doctor, you'll become an engineer or whatever. But I reversed that because I watched lots of different things and realized actually this whole field of personal development is the other way around. It's become yourself. So go back into yourself and learn about who you really are intrinsically, you know, your core values and your beliefs. And then from when you discover who you are, when you become, you do the things that serve you. And when you do the things that serve you, you get what you actually need. So it's flipped everything on its head. So you've got to become to get what you need in the end.
That's very interesting, because that goes into the Maslow's hierarchy of self-actualization. You need to know who you are at the core. What are your deeply embedded values? And even in Islam, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would go, before he became a prophet, he would go and meditate for days. Not, you know, we're not talking about hours. He'd go and meditate for days and days and days. So literally, and they say prophethood wasn't revealed to anyone below the age of 40, because you're still finding yourself. Once you find yourself at that kind of formative, you know, where your physical health meets your intellectual health and wisdom at 40, then you find yourself, and then you go on your life's calling. So that's really interesting, Taf, because it really touches home on some of the stuff I do around mindset coaching as well, i.e. uncovering, peeling off the onion of self.
Correct.
And really kind of finding your inner calling, your inner child. You know, Lewis House talks about it in his School of Greatness, like parenting your inner child.